I just installed the eufy dual LED permanent outdoor lights. Let me show you. First, let's get these E120 Permanent Outdoor Lights unboxed. They do include 100 feet, and it's the only length they currently offer, but everything inside was very well organized and nice and packaged. You're gonna get 6 of these 16-foot approximate lengths, which is gonna be a total of 100 feet. They include an extension cable, which I'll show you here in just a second. But look at that, there's a dedicated warm white light and then the multicolored light that also does the regular cool white LED light. They also include this positioning card. This is a 4-inch card. It'll make it very easy to position the lights 4 inches off your exterior wall. The power supply and the control switch are not waterproof, but eufy will send you out an outdoor waterproof box at no additional charge if you contact support. Now, all of these lights tend to use this 3-prong standard connector. It's a great connection because you've got the 2 ports that you connect together, and then you screw this on to make it watertight with that gasket inside. They also included a 12-foot extension cable. This is if you want to have a gap in between the full 100 length light. Now, the first thing that I always do with these lights that have multiple connections is I go through and connect every single part together and get them tested indoors before I go outdoors. The last thing you want to do is go out and install these all up in the eaves of your roof or your shed, and then something isn't connected or something isn't right. So there it is. I plugged it in and everything is working properly. Now let's get the app connected. You're going to use the eufyLife app, and after performing a firmware update, it walked me through the setup, which is very straightforward. You should not be intimidated and install these at all. And there's an information about getting that waterproof box to house the outdoor AC adapter and control switch. I'll go through a lot more of the app function once we get these installed. So I started on one end of the shed and I kind of planned this out in terms of how I was going to route this. I did use that 4-inch positioning card, and once I kind of got an eye for how far away it was from the eave, I mostly eyeballed it, but I did use it to double check here and there. It is important that you wipe the surface down. So I was using a wet cloth and then came back with a dry cloth just to make sure everything was nice and dry before using the 3M adhesive that's pre-installed on every single light. One thing to be careful about when installing these lights is you don't want to put a ton of pressure on the cable itself due to weather expansion, especially with sheds. In this case, I'm installing this on my home theater shed. You're going to see a little bit of movement, and the last thing you want are those cables to snap or be under stress. So anytime there was a corner or an angle or anything out of the ordinary, I was very careful to position the light in a place where I could give it a little bit of slack and then use one of the included anchor clips just to make sure that that cable was secured to the eave. Around corners or ends like this, I again used the little included white clips to secure them to the underside. They included adhesive, but I did screw in the included little silver screws just to make sure those things weren't going anywhere. You can see here that I previously installed the eufy outdoor solar lights, so I gave those a nice cleaning. You want to make sure you keep those solar panels cleaned off of any dust and debris. Just a little side note, I do love those solar wall lights, so check those out in the other video that I'll link in the description below. Now, around a corner like this, I was careful to make sure I placed the lights in a way that they would look pleasing and that there would be a light right at the end in the corner. So I did have a little additional cable, but it was easy to tuck that back up underneath there and use one of the little plastic clips to secure it and tidy it all up. The installation of these outdoor eufy permanent LED lights could not have been easier. You're literally just wiping off the eaves and then pressing the 3M adhesive on the back of these up in there. I do recommend that you hold it for about 15 to 30 seconds. This is sped up footage, so that's why you're not seeing me hold it for as long. But once they were in and turned on, I was already liking the effect. This is our home theater that's inside of a shed, so I just wanted to create some additional ambience and lighting. But Valentine's Day is coming up too, so I'm thinking like do some cool mood setting for some romantic movies. What do you think?
So inside the eufy app right here, you've got a lot of different settings. The first one I want to show you though is this daily setting. One of the things that's very unique to the eufy permanent light string here is that it has a dedicated warm white LED in there. So when you have the warm white on, it is a nice, very bright. In fact, this is only on 75%. If I increase it to 100%, these are the only lights that are on back here on this side yard. In fact, if I turn them off, you'll see how pitch black it actually gets. Completely dark. Turn them back on. Boom. Look at that. These are bright. Now, of course, we can dim those back if we just want more of a mood setting. That looks really nice right there. If we do go over to the cool white, it's not going to be quite as bright along with the pure white just because it doesn't have a dedicated white LED. It is the RGB lights that are creating those whites, but the warm white definitely is going to be your brightest option. Now, if we go to the ambiance, there are a lot of preset scenes that are in here that you can choose from Valentine's Day, New Year's Day. One of the things you're gonna notice here is that the little house icon on the app itself changes based on what you're setting it to. And I really like that. I wish that more companies would adopt this because it gives you a visual right in the app what the light settings are supposed to look like. President's Day, and then if we come over here to seasons, we've got spring, autumn, and you get the picture there. A lot of different ambiance scenes in here. We got emotions. So if we want it to be romantic, setting that mood, the vibe before we're going in to watch a nice romantic movie like The Notebook.
Because I want you. I want all of you forever. You and me every day.
Got passionate, warm, lots of cool settings on here. Got flags. So we got various countries, United States. That's kind of cool, going with the red, white, and blue theme there. The one I really want to show you guys is the AI. So they've got some inspiration ones here that we can just pre-select. So if we wanted to pre-select, say, a mountain summit majesty, not even sure what that would be. There you go. That is the mountain summit majesty. Now notice, of course, depending on the color of your house or shed in this case, I've got kind of a rustic reddish color as the shed color. It's going to alter those downlights a little bit, but I really love the effect that these lights create. And then if I come over here to magic dice, I can do a magic dice and it's just gonna do like a random scene that it creates there. Kind of cool. But this is what I really want to test out here. The AI light chat, angry bird. See what that gives us. All right. Giving us some red anger there. I get it. Makes sense. A little angry red bird happening right there. We are very angry. So that was kind of cool. Miami Nights vibe. See what that gives us. Okay. A little bit of a party scene there. Some Miami Nights. That's what it's interpreting as that. Hawaii party. Generate that. Okay, giving us some oranges, some pinks, kind of a tropical party. So again, it's all up to interpretation really on the AI generated one, but it is kind of cool that you can come up with very, very unique color schemes and maybe be a starting ground for what you're going to do. Let's try one more here. Wildcats. It might pick up the Wildcats and not Arizona, but let's see if it gets it right. So blue and red, there we go. So blue and red, which are the colors of U of A. Blue and red are the U of A Wildcats, and some white in there too, but I think it got the colors right on that. So let's also go back over here into customize now, and this is where we can go in and really dial in the individual colors. So we could select that we want, all of these are going to be blue. I could do that individual, so I can pick this, but I can also come here and change the color and then pick the different ones. So now I'm picking individual lights. So if you wanted a specific lighting scene, depending on the actual individual lights itself, you can really dial this in. So if I wanted like the other half to be yellow here, I could then go and make these all yellow. You can also go into schedule and do various schedules, and they've got some suggested ones in here. So for New Year's, Mardi Gras, all the holidays, you could have it automatically change to these various scenes. It's kind of cool that they have that in there automatically. They call that life sync, but you can also add your own schedule and customize the lights and have them changed based on the time of day. So overall, I'm very impressed with the lights themselves. I really like this warm white setting. It just looks so inviting here on the shed.
In fact, I ended up having enough length to go and wrap both of my sheds with the one kit. So both my home theater inside of a shed and my brand new home gym inside of a shed video that is going to be releasing very soon. So be sure to hit that subscribe button so you see when that video is released. Eufy also has some very cool Valentine's Day discounts and specials happening right now. So check the links in the description of this video. You'll not only be able to support my work, but you'll also get the best price on these Eufy E120 outdoor LED lights. Thanks, Eufy. Keep up the great work on these innovative products.